Do you think Terence Crawford is approaching you in the proper way?
I think he's wanted the fight and doing respectful, you know. I want Canelo.
2, 3, 4. Eso. Enjoy.
Canelo Alvarez has responded to Floyd Mayweather training with Terence Crawford. After footage of the duo surfaced, Canelo was seen in the gym, focused and working hard when asked about it. He simply said, "Enjoy," implying he's unfazed and fully prepared for his own challenges.
Eso. Venga. 5, venga. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eso. Enjoy.
Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson recently spoke about meeting Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford, expressing his admiration for Floyd. He shared that Mayweather values being around genuine people, which has strengthened their bond. Shakur added, "We're so close now, highlighting their growing friendship and mutual respect within the boxing world."
He went on the rant with Teddy Atlas.
What's that mean?
He said you're the most overrated Mexican champion in history. He said that Salvador Sanchez and
boxeador mexicano.
Más popular,
pero sin causa.
Sí. Fucking crazy, that guy. and you think he knows boxing? Fuck.
When Terence Crawford said that he moved up and won, and Canelo moved up and lost.
They talk all the crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won.
I don't think that was a strong point because Canelo Alvarez actually moved up and won. I mean, he moved up a lot of weight classes, but if you want to talk about light heavyweight, he moved up and he beat Kobe. Then he moved up again and he lost to Bivol. Terence Crawford, on the other hand, he moves up to 154. He won 115, 113, but it was just an 11-0 Madrimov who didn't really have much of a resume, right? But there's a difference, to be real. I mean, Bivol is a Hall of Fame. Okay, this guy, you know, all-time light heavyweight. It's a bit different. Canelo did knock out Kovalev when he did move up. Okay, and Kovalev is a bigger challenge at light heavyweight than Madrimov at 154 for Terence Crawford. Let's just keep it a bit.
Canelo Alvarez, widely regarded as the face of boxing, addressed Terence Crawford's respectful approach to calling for a fight. Canelo acknowledged Crawford's interest in fighting him, noting that Crawford has been respectful in his marks, avoiding negativity or trash talk. Canelo emphasized his earned position in boxing, stating, "You never know. Maybe one day I wake up and want to fight that guy."
Canelo needs to understand he's a different fighter now. The deterioration is there. He's not the same guy. He's not that destroyer who's looking for knockouts early and keeps a pace and a pressure on you. He throws 30 punches around. You're not the same guy. So telling everyone you're going to knock them out and then going into, 6 decisions in a row now? Scores a knockdown every time. The power's still there. The problem is the pace and the ability to carry on and push. That's the real difference, and that comes with age. He's 34 going on 45 at this, as far as I'm concerned. He's got a ton of fights, been around for a long time, doesn't have that same desire, the same drive to take the chances against these younger, bigger guys, because he is fighting younger, bigger guys. So you got to keep that in mind as well.
When he fought Canelo, and he was like standing right in front of Canelo, and Canelo's just whiffing, it was a life lesson. And then you look at how good Canelo's head movement got after that fight, when he realized it. I mean, my God, when he fought Danny Jacobs, and Canelo's just standing right in front of him, bobbing and weaving. That's all what he learned from fighting Floyd.
This reflects his openness, while asserting his status as a respected champion, recognizing Crawford's achievements. Canelo remains measured, showing respect for all fighters and the sport's integrity, while hinting that anything is possible in the future. Canelo said in the past that he wouldn't drop weight to fight Terence Crawford, explaining that Crawford wanted the fight, not him. He mentioned that people would criticize him for facing someone too small, and emphasized,
"I don't think it's a fight Canelo really wants, if I'm honest, because I think he feels like he won't get a lot of credit beating a light middleweight. And Crawford's going to move a lot in that fight, which is not ideal for Canelo. But what's his options? I mean, if Bivol wins, he could fight him for undisputed. That's a very tough fight. What's the other options? Benavidez is up at 175. obviously His Excellency wants to make that fight, so guess we could see it next.
That Crawford was a different type of fighter, making the matchup unappealing, promoter Eddie Hearn has echoed similar sentiments. Expressed concerns about the size disparity between Canelo and Crawford. He mentioned that a fight between the two might not garner Canelo. Much credit due to Crawford's smaller stature, Hearn stated, Canelo will not get any credit for beating a lightweight, highlighting the potential narrative that Crawford is too small for such a matchup fellow.
You know, Canelo said that because when Canelo fought me, he was in his prime. And when I fought, I was an old man. So I wasn't in my prime when I fought Canelo. You know, I was an old man when I fought Canelo. Just like this right here, young guy, even though I'm old, I got a lot of experience. I'm gonna go out there and just show him that this is the elite level and it's something totally different.
Boxer Shakur Stevenson has expressed strong confidence in Crawford's abilities after meeting with both Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. Stevenson remarked that people are underestimating Crawford. He believes that weight doesn't determine the outcome of a fight, but rather skills. Stevenson stated, I think he can beat Canelo as weight. Doesn't matter, skills pay off Canelo.
I think Crawford don't get me wrong. He's a great fighter. But for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight. For me, easy money. So if the money is right, I'm in. Because, you know, I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he move a lot and the fight is not that great. I saw Crawford the last fight and he don't move that much now. So yeah, if the money is right, I mean, why not?
How you think he did at that weight, at 154? How you think Crawford did?
You know, they are a weight class for a reason, and you need to ask him. It's different. I know in his mind he think he can do whatever he wants because he's very talented fighter. He's a very good fighter. I like how he fight, but that's why there are weight classes. And he knows.
Alvarez has consistently emphasized the importance of weight classes in boxing. He believes that each fighter has an optimal weight, where they perform best. In an interview, Canelo stated, Terence is at weight classes for a reason, suggesting that Crawford's optimal performance is at 147 lb.
Are you tired of people asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, I always say, I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is.
Yes.
But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with Spence. He did like almost look very easy. But I knew Terence Crawford is a great fighter. But you know, you never know in boxing. We'll see.
This underscores Canelo's view that moving up in weight can impact a boxer's effectiveness. Canelo said that Terence calling him out for fight wasn't a big deal, as everyone wanted to fight him. Boxing legend Floyd Mayweather has also weighed in on the discussion, reflecting on his own experience fighting Canelo.
How do you see that playing out?
I'm not a big fan of that fight matchmaking because they're too many weight classes apart. And although the skills, Crawford is one of the best fighters that I've seen. I told him yesterday when I met him up last night there at the dinner, I was like, dude, you're a badass. Like, you've been a badass. You don't always get the recognition because of, you know, politics in boxing and the favoritism here and there. But he truly does have the skills, and he's a great fighter. He's proven it multiple times, obviously. Now, Canelo is, you know, fighting at 168. Crawford just moved up to 154, and he had some trouble with that in that fight. Now, where do you plan on going? 164, 65, 66? Canelo ain't gonna come down to 160.
Yeah,
Canelo ain't gonna come down, you know, maybe 166 max if he accepts. I think Canelo wins that fight based on just the size, power and size. Now, skill-wise, I think Crawford's a better skilled fighter, but the difference in size will be the deciding factor.
Mayweather stated that Canelo was in his prime when they fought, while he himself was older. Crazy that Canelo said that, because when Canelo fought me, he was in his prime. And when I fought, I was an old man. So I wasn't in my prime when I fought Canelo. I was an old man when I fought Canelo. Just like this, right here, young guy.
Give me your opinion on how that fight plays out.
Man. It's interesting because of the weight class. We haven't seen Terence go up there, and will he have the power? But I do think that Terence has the skill and is a bit fresher than Canelo. So if I had to put my money on it, I would probably go with Terence.
I think Canelo destroys him.
Really?
I do.
Wow. I mean, but most people think that, but they don't know.
I don't think that happens.
I think
big.
Terence is just super talented at adjusting inside that ring. The weight will play a part. We'll see that when the fight happens, but I think that fight is going to be a lot more interesting than most people think.
Who was the hardest punch?
Even though I'm old, I got a lot of experience. I'm going to go out there and just show him that this is the elite level, and there's something totally different, he remarked. I was like 40 years old when I cooked this dude, suggesting that Canelo is not as formidable as some might think. Mayweather's comments add an interesting dimension to the conversation, given his undefeated record and experience in the eye.
Check out the projected odds that came out. One of the odds projectors say Canelo is opening up as the favorite, -130. Crawford is +100. That's damn near 50-50. Another one says Canelo Alvarez is the favorite, -185. Crawford is the underdog, only +55. Let me tell you something. If those are the odds on my bookie come day one, I'm max betting Canelo Alvarez. I could give a damn. If y'all mean to tell me that y'all think it's 50-50, I'ma empty my account on Canelo Alvarez. I don't have to bet KO, none of that shit. If y'all think it's that close, I'ma empty my account. $30,000, I can give a shit. I'm about to come up. I was gonna bet on Crawford, thinking he'd be the huge underdog. Y'all got it that narrow?
A ring in response to Crawford calling him out for a fight. Canelo has downplayed the significance, stating that everyone wants to fight him, so it's not a big deal. He emphasized that he is open to fights that make sense for his career and legacy. Canelo mentioned, "If the money is right, I'm in, because I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he moves a lot, and the fight is boring."
Be great. That'll be 3 times. If you go 154 and win the belt, that's 3 times super. Then I said, chase super greatness. Come on, Canelo, 160.
Well, if he can get in there with Charlo in like his next 2 fights where he still got age on his side, then maybe go up again. Like if he's trying to chase the greatness, but I mean he already done something that's never been done. Charlo don't want none of that stuff.
Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. No, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but like I say, he's weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and you never know what happened.
Yeah.
This reflects his belief that Crawford's style may not align with his preferred matchups. Canelo has expressed reservations about Crawford's resume, suggesting that he has only beaten one notable fighter.
Saturday, but do you feel like a fight like Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight, he's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better, no? Terence Crawford is a great fighter, he's a good fighter, but like I say, he's weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and then you never know what happened.
Yeah, for sure.
Just a few weeks ago, you heard what Terence Bud Crawford had to say on why he wants to take on Saul Canelo Alvarez.
I just want the opportunity, to fight the best fighter in my generation that's out there. He's the most accomplished fighter, and I would just like to, fight another great.
Which is a very noble reason. I mean, it's a reason that I can get behind. If you notice, his primary reason isn't money. He did say it'd be the biggest fight, which, you know, you do want a big fight, but I don't think he meant monetarily, which the money comes, okay? But what he's saying is he want to test himself versus the best. And I think he's telling the truth here, right? Of course you want big money and stuff like that, but I think his swan song is just him testing himself up against the very best. Those are the reasons the war room can get behind.
He implied that Crawford's record lacks depth in terms of high-caliber opponents. This critique highlights Canelo's skepticism about Crawford's readiness to face him in the ring.